Hi guys, welcome to the Tom O'Brien Show. I'm John Logan. Tom's getting ready for a pretty big event right now, so he asked me to come on board and say a few things while he's out. Tommy's up there too. And we're going to talk a lot today about the scanner that I've got on the TFNN website on the homepage and that carousel today a little bit too. A lot of upgrades on that thing recently. I want you guys to get a trial of it if you haven't gotten it yet. And if you got it in the past, it's a starkly different product these days. A lot of value, cuts to the bone very quickly. And there's also a 1.5 hour, it's actually over a 1.5 hour free market profile course on as you drill down into the information and are able to view that. You can also get a trial to the scanner itself. There's just, in addition to the course, I think there's a total of about 15 videos up there, but 6 or 7 of those videos exclusively deal with the matrix section of the scanner, which we're going to talk about today, which is basically, drilling down pretty quickly using some metrics to find some opportunities and understand where those opportunities lie within the broad index. So very, very cool piece now. And you need to watch the video. There's about an hour's worth of videos alone just on the matrix. So talks about how to ring the register with the matrix. So here we go. Let's talk about the S&Ps first. We're going to keep the phone lines open too. If you guys have any questions along the way, feel free to call in 877-927-6648 or internationally 727-445-1044. All right. So we're going to take a look at the S&Ps first just to kind of get going here. It's not a lot of change in the trend. We all know that. But here's the long-term weekly. I'm showing them on my chart right now, and I'm sure Al is showing these. The profiles is what we base a lot of the software that I write on, and these profiles are balanced areas or fair auctions. If you guys have watched me before on this network, you know what I'm talking about, but I'm showing them on the chart right now, and the good news is you can always understand where a stock lies within a balanced area or outside a balanced area using this simple indicator. The scanner's built on it, the edge, and a trade map, a couple other things that we put out. But these inflection points on the outside of these balanced areas are incredibly good areas to pick battles in general. So what do they do for me, and I hope it'll do the same for you, is cause you to be patient and wait until some signs appear that kind of make this a little bit more black and white. So as you'll notice, for example, on the S&Ps in an uptrend, and we're looking at the weekly chart here, recently, the past month and a half, we actually, had a new balanced area appear. These happen automatically in an algorithm. We traversed the whole fair auction to the other side of the balanced area, that inflection point I talked about. Considering that we're in an uptrend, profiles still have been edging up over time since, God, I don't want to, let's see, just to kind of put it in perspective, January 2016, we started a profile and have edged higher on profiles continuously until now. So what does that mean? That means we're in an uptrend, and every time you back and fill with a new profile, that is, generally speaking, a decent area to pick a battle on the long side. We look at a lot of different things to try to gauge whether we're supposed to be long or short. And today there were some reasons to look at the market on the highs from both sides of the equation, but let's just look at the long-term view and understand we've broken out past 2 weeks. We come back and retested for the most part, and that's a pretty powerful setup. And it's kind of okay to be long and not okay to be short unless you're doing some ultra shorter term trading. Here's our daily. And again, we kind of busted through 2507.25, and there's just nothing up here. In fact, I'm going to show a product really quick. If I can pull it up here. Actually, we can do it in the scanner. Let me just show that. So if we go into the scanner and look at the landscape view of the S&Ps, I'm going to go right down to the ES here. I want to basically show you that we've got green across the board. And what does that mean in every cell, weekly, daily, 240 and 60? That means that prices above profiles across all four of the major time frames that we look at, and more importantly, the weekly and daily. So let's just get out of this really quick. I want to pull up an S&P chart. Okay, here's a breadth chart, or excuse me, a landscape chart. This is the level of the market up here. And as you'll notice, here's the four profiles, and we're just up here and in the ether, so to speak. So, we could drift a lot higher. There's obviously a lot of, don't try to be a hero and just put on a big short position unless it's hedged. Anything can happen. This might be the kind of the sell the news topic of all times, actually. When they actually do lock in the final maybe tax adjustment plan, because then everything's already factored in, and then where do we go from here? But a lot of these folks in the marketplace have factored a lot of this in, no doubt. But right now, you want to have something to kind of lean on to short this, or you want to, if you're going to be thinking in that capacity, you want to at least have a hedge on. So you could short futures, buy in the money calls, or you could just wait until some things look a little bit more attractive. A lot of the things in the scanner you can use exclusively to trade underlying instruments or futures. But one of the things that I look at is when these two speed dials up here in the upper right corner, these weekly and daily are in the same direction, in this case, positive, you've got really good opportunities to trade things from the long side. And if they're both pointing in the negative direction, then you've kind of got some confluence on breadth calculations that we do that it might be okay to start shorting stocks, but that's not the case right now. Apple, let me see how much time we have before we got to go to break here. Getting close. We're going to get into Apple when we get back, and everybody's looking at this stock. It's probably in everybody's portfolio. So we're going to talk a little bit about this when we come back.